Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
Is that full? What's that?
call the meeting to order. Please stand for the salute. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Law and has been duly advertised in the newspaper as an official meeting. Roll call.
Dr. Osmond. Mr. Walsh.
Here.
Mr. McCarron.
Present.
Mrs. Rivera.
Present.
Mrs. Barocas.
Present.
Mrs. Gardella.
Present.
Mrs. Cass.
Present. I need a motion for approval of the agenda with addendums.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Osmond.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mr. McCarron.
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera.
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas.
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella.
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I now turn the meeting over to Mrs. Permilli for her superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Cass. I'm excited because tonight, even though not required, Colin, our board rep, has come back to say hello to everybody and to do a short little review of the end of the school year for Memorial. So kind of you. We're so happy to see you, and why don't you come and give us a little bit of a summary of the end of the year.
Good evening, Mrs. Permilli, members of the Central Administration staff, and Board of Education members. Thank you, as always, for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Jackson Memorial High School. I'll keep tonight's speech brief. School officially ended on Monday, but before we settle into summer, I wanted to say a few final things as we wrap up the year. First and foremost, congratulations to the graduating class of 2025 from both Jackson Memorial and Jackson Liberty. Your hard work, perseverance, and leadership have left a lasting legacy. From the classroom to the stage, the field, and beyond, you've represented your schools with integrity and heart. We celebrate your accomplishments and wish you nothing but success as you take your next steps into the future. Graduation this year came with an unexpected change. Due to weather, the ceremony had to be moved into the auditorium on short notice. While it wasn't the outdoor celebration many had hoped for, our students, staff, graduates' achievements, and the excitement of a fresh start in September. Wishing everyone a safe, restful, and inspiring summer. Thank you. Restful and inspiring summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Looking forward to seeing you next year, and I probably will see you over the summer a bit too, I think. Thank you again for coming on your personal time to do that. It means a lot to us. Before I continue with my superintendent's report, I would just ask if I could have everybody stand for a moment of silence for Mr. Scott Sargent, who has passed away. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. He was a town councilman and a former board member. I'll just take a moment. Okay, thank you. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with his family. So, as Colin mentioned, the close of the year was marked by many ceremonies, fun events, carnivals in some of our schools, end of year, field days, trips, and lots of other activities. The moving up ceremonies that were held for both 4th and 5th graders this year, as they were both, those grade levels will be going to new schools. The 8th grade promotion ceremonies that there was absolutely nothing on the radar for the weather that day, and we did go outside, and unfortunately towards the end of both ceremonies at Getz and McAuliffe, we got quite wet. But memories were made, promotions were done. And then the high school ceremonies were both indoors as well, and I believe that those were very intimate ceremonies. They were very nice, beautiful tributes to both of the schools and to the last graduating classes of those schools. And as Colin mentioned, we're moving forward. and united, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. We also held the honoring of McAuliffe events. They were well attended, bittersweet, of course. Many staff, past staff attended, something that the teachers and Ms. Phillips had arranged that afternoon, as did a lot of alumni came that evening as well. And there were just so many hugs and kisses and memories shared, including one alumni who returned, meteorologist Dan Zaro, if you're familiar with him, who shared how his experience with Wake Up McAuliffe inspired him towards pursuing a career that he currently has as meteorologist on the on 101.5. And he, as other speakers emphasized, that it's that night, they emphasized that it is the people who make the Jackson School District special. Yes, we will miss the buildings, but it's the people who help to carry on that legacy. It was a nice honoring. They did open the time capsule as well, and there were some interesting things in there from the 1990s. Some Jolly Ranchers, it's interesting. Some old report cards and things like that. And if you're interested, you can see we've posted some of that on our Facebook page. I do tonight want to provide the board and the community with just a brief summary of an update on our goals for the 24-25 school year. The board has seen this information, so I'm just going to give a quick overview. As you know, a major goal that we had this school year was the strategic planning. That was goal 1. And we had worked all year long on that plan. We created that strategic redistricting restructuring committee. We worked for 5 months, several meetings a month, involved community members, staff, made the recommendation, accomplished the timeline, and really, made that recommendation in a timely fashion so that we could be prepared for September. We've transferred 450 staff members thus far to address that restructuring plan. We have prepared packing plans, moving plans. In fact, this week the moving has started. Mr. Baginski, Mr. Bruno, and our facility staff and our administrative staff have all been busy this past few days moving our 12-month employees' offices, lots of moving happening, and we'll begin shortly after that getting all of the boxes out of classrooms and to the right buildings. In fact, I think this building was just about done, right? Today, which is phenomenal. So we're actually ahead of schedule there, and kudos to everybody involved. So, with that goal, I feel that we have met that goal. We did a lot of other things related to that as well. For example, our trailers, right? If you remember in the fall, we closed all of the trailers for students. And so now we moved them all back into the building, and then we also have now removed all of those trailers with the exception of Getz. We're preparing those now, but all of the elementary school trailers are gone, and we will not have students in them any longer because they're no longer here. So in goal 2, it was health, safety, and connection. Trailers were a piece of that, right? We knew that they were not really the best suited for our students anymore. We, just some things that we have done in these areas are inclusive of our security checklists, doing all of the drills that are required, our mandated monthly drills. We have purchased new radios and a repeater that's being put on. We have shared service with the township so that the radios are more effective, more consistent for emergency purposes. So we're in a better place for that. In regards to the social emotional of the health, we did have a celebration for Rosen Hour 2 and the closing of that. And we did offer extra orientations and some transition time for staff through that process as well. We have the mental health grant and have been working there. We have interns who are able to help with additional counseling. We've continued to strengthen already a strong threat assessment process, used a depression screener to scan and to see if there's any students who are in need for parents who wanted that to happen. We had a lot of health fairs, mental health fairs, drug fairs, presentations, remediations, formalizing a more formal process for remediations of behaviors and HIB violations. And like I said, a lot of presentations such as drug and alcohol. We had at Getz, McAuliffe, and both high schools this year. So there's a lot of things to meet those goals, that goal for our health and safety. In Goal 3, academic growth and rigor, we were able to have new adoptions in our K-8 literacy and our 6-12 math programs. That was all implemented this year with a professional development behind it. That included some increase and some shifting around of a better alignment of assessments to be able to inform instruction. That would also help with following through with better support for standardized testing. Used Title I and Title IV funds a lot to for middle school students to stay after school for academic support. Additionally, we used Title I and the New Jersey Impact Tutoring money to offer tutoring for 3rd and 4th graders to help increase their skill set as well, and focused on professional development for differentiation in the classroom. Some of the other things that were done in the areas of academic support, and there's many, many other things, I'm just pulling out a few things. We partnered with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. So our high school students were offered the opportunity to partner and work with many different positions in the healthcare field and really get to learn about the healthcare field and see if it's something that they would be interested in, and that was through grant money through Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We had the trade fair, Mr. Palumbo, again, it was fabulous. Thank you for that. And we did a lot of other things to focus in on authentic assessment in our high school classrooms. And I do also want to mention, with everything that had happened in the fall, we also expanded our preschool annex. So now that we had 11 classrooms there, and it is a wonderful program here in this building, and we were able to expand that and enrich that program as well. Goal number 4 was finance, facilities, and transportation. And as everybody here on the board knows, we've been advocating hard, and we continue to advocate hard for a more equitable funding formula for Jackson, so it meets our unique needs here. All of that was done. We have the advocacy committee that Ms. Gardella chairs, and they've been busy, that committee, working to advocate as well. We have researched a lot of grants. As I mentioned before, we have the mental health grant, the Big Brother and Sisters grant, recreation grants, and in a few minutes, you're going to hear from Dr. Godleski about a COPS grant that we just applied for. We have planned and tweaked again the possibility of going out for referendum because of the debt coming off. And so we continue to evolve that and have discussion with our board committee, and we'll continue that work. We transitioned to an upgraded software for transportation, and that was all complete and really helped better facilitate our kids on and off the bus this school year for safety purposes as well. And facility rental space, we've expanded that and being able to bring in a little bit more revenue in using our facilities that way. And then finally, goal number 5, homeschool connection and human resources. Did prepare, and all on the back end, we are ready to begin rolling out a new web page. Put a little pause on it for the end of the school year when we thought we were going to roll it out because we were having restructuring, a new whole new structure of our school district, so we will roll it out in the fall and work with our staff so that their class pages get put up, and then we'll launch that new website for everybody, and it will be easy to use. But it made sense to get everything ready and then pause it until we were absolutely ready. For community engagement, you've heard some of the things that we've talked about. I talked about before, the strategic planning committee, the surveys we've put out around strategic planning. You see it on the agenda often, our parent nights that we run through our title funds, our McAuliffe celebration and honoring that school, a Rosenauer celebration. We held several PTN presidents meetings this year as well. And we encourage during strategic planning that anybody with any questions or concerns email us, and then we created the Q&A document for our community as well, and gave updates at every single board meeting of the process and where we were at in the process of restructuring. So again, that's just a sampling of some of the things that we did to meet the goals that were established at the onset of this school year. We did also, although it wasn't a goal, but we also did, on top of everything, have what we call in the state of New Jersey for schools QSAC monitoring. It is state monitoring, and that is a big process of data that we have to collect, share with the Department of Ed in several areas, score ourselves, and then the Department of Ed reviews that, and they also come in for a day and monitor, ask questions for some of the data. So that whole process was done this year as well, which is incredible on top of everything else that we did. And we're awaiting their scores. We'll let you know when we do have them. So that is a summary of the goals. We will begin setting goals with the admin team next month when we work together to come together collectively to set goals. And as you can imagine, that will be very much around uniting our students, our staff, and moving forward as one united school district. So with that, as we begin moving forward, I think it's a good time now to pivot and talk about the school year, setting those goals, and one of the things that I've been asked about a lot lately is, you gave a survey about the mascot for the Jackson Township High School, but you haven't told us what the results were. So we wanted to let every school have its opportunity to honor its closing, its change, and for our seniors and our 8th graders and our students to have an opportunity to really close out the school that way before we moved forward with any big announcements for next school year. So tonight, and the board, you might want to turn around so that you can see this, I am prepared to share with you the results. So obviously this isn't, one of the many next decisions that have to be made. We still have a lot of other things and decisions that will be announced through the summer about restructuring, but this one was, as we had said before, the colors were selected, the name was selected, you see that there, and the mascot was selected to be a jaguar. And so moving forward, there is going to be a new JAG in town, and I want to thank our talented graphic art teachers in both of the high schools who work together to brainstorm these ideas. We offer 2 beautiful options to our students and our staff to vote in grades 8 through 12. And so they all voted. You see the 2 options, version A and version B, that people had to vote on. And we reviewed all the responses, so couldn't go wrong with either one of them. They were both wonderful representations of a good, strong mascot for our high school. You'll see here a collection of all of the responses of both schools was 65 to 35. 65 being representing a version. I almost slipped. And as you see further data broken down, you can see how each one of the schools responded. So overwhelmingly, one color, being red, was represented more in favor of which mascot would be selected. So let's show you the new JAG in town. This will be the new JAG. It's exciting. I think it's a wonderful representation of the schools, and it's a strong mascot as well, which I think is important. And you saw the results, so it's exciting. So the graphic art teachers, they're continuing just to tweak some things, make it camera ready, make the versions clean and cut so that they can be replicated. Working with Ms. Irwin on all of that, we'll be creating a style guide that gives users every possible variation of the logo for the use in all sorts of things, for printing, the background, what materials it works best on, the different shapes, the logo, on a banner size versus a smaller size document or clothing. So that will be in the next week or so, fine-tuning that, and then we'll get it out to everybody so that it can be printed and replicated. I know Mr. Brignoli is eager to get his hands on it, but I told him he's got to wait just a little bit longer. But we did want to announce the winner of that survey, which is option B. Again, a nice, strong, I think, mascot for our district. So before I close out my superintendent's report, I did mention a COPS grant that is on the agenda for approval for submission. Dr. Galeski's she worked with some folks on that, and she's just going to give you a quick overview on what that grant's about.
Sure. Thank you, Mrs. Permilli. So the COPS grant, and more specifically the SVPP portion of the COPS grant, which stands for School Violence Prevention Program, is an annual grant that offers school districts quite a bit of money to enhance the safety and security of their schools. Some members of our staff worked, Mr. Blair and Mr. Pajoski, our Director of Security, worked to create a list of what our needs are for camera upgrades, specifically for our high school. And we really zoned in on the fact that we'll have one of the largest high schools in New Jersey. So to have upgraded cameras that have better quality in pictures, so when you zoom in, the pixelation doesn't take away the accuracy, was something that we thought was really important. There's lots and lots of cameras across all of our schools, but as we have more and more students, better angles are always a good thing. So we've submitted a grant for over $200,000 to provide us with camera upgrades for our buildings, and hopefully we get it. It's obviously it's sought after by a lot of school districts and other state agencies, but we will hear by the end of September. We should hear by September 30th.
Okay, thank you very much. So in closing, I just want to wish everybody a safe summer. Right now, please stay cool. We will be here moving, setting up schools, preparing, setting goals, and preparing to welcome staff and students in September, and we will be ready for our new United School District. So thank you. I conclude my superintendent's report.
Standing committee reports. Mr. McCarron, do you have a report?
Yes, for buildings and grounds. Some capital improvements. Switlick Room 25 HVAC, the relay, fuses, and wiring were repaired. Memorial elevator hydraulic seal was replaced. Johnson Room 401 HVAC blower motor replaced. Crawford Rodriguez cooling tower HVAC, fan shaft and bearing assembly was replaced. Memorial fire pump house, relay switch and well tank replaced by electricians. And Elms water tank, the alarm replaced with new unit by electricians.
Thank you. For budget, I might as well put this in budget and finance. I said I would do the lunch balances, the unpaid lunch balances each month. So last month, if you recall, it was $146,000. It is down to $134,000. So still high, but looking better. So again, we accept any donations. We do appreciate that. There are no other reports. Ad hoc committee, policy will be meeting in July. Scholarship, Mr. Walsh, do you have anything to say about scholarship night?
Scholarship night went well. $153,000 was distributed. Just do a little commercial here for those scholars. Please submit your invoices for your college so you can get your money. We don't want to hold on to it. Thank you.
State and County School Board Representative, Mrs. Rivera?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Advocacy Committee, Mrs. Gardella?
Nothing to report.
And I believe that's it. I need a motion for approval of policy, second reading adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Tina, we usually have discussion after the superintendent speaks. If we have questions, can we ask that, or? No? Okay.
Sometimes I'll ask other questions. I didn't ask that. It was fine.
Policy, discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Osmond?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the minutes. the closed session meeting, May 21st, 2025, and the official board meeting, May 21st, 2025, business meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Dr. Osmond?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella? Mrs.
Yes.
Cass?
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the bill list.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Dr. Osmond? Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the treasurer's and board secretary's reports.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Dr. Osmond?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion to open the public forum on agenda items only. We will hold another public forum during this meeting for other questions. This public forum will be for questions on the agenda only.
Motion.
Second.
Please sign in and state your name and whether or not you are a Jackson resident. Each person is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. No person may speak more than once on the topic until all others have been heard. Seeing no one come forward, I need a motion to close public forum.
Motion.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
He said second. I need a motion to move finance.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I had some questions. On finance number 12, the two-way radios, is that for the entire district, or is that for a specific?
Yeah, so that's a radio project to replace all of the radios on all of our school buses.
Oh, okay.
So they are currently an analog radio from the 90s, and so they're going to be a digital radio. It's a major upgrade, and we had a shared service agreement also for approval that the township also approved to allow us to put and pay for a repeater on top of a cell tower. So it's going to give us tremendous reception and communication for our.
Yeah,
our
I recall you telling us, I didn't realize that was the two-way radios.
And that's the vendor that's doing
Okay.
the project.
I also had a question on 13 for New Jersey Power and Light. Is that like an estimated cost with the new rates, or?
Yeah, so when we approve the co-ops, when the board approves the co-ops, what we do is for the vendors, we put an estimated maximum spending limit. It kind of puts a guardrail up so that if we get closer to that maximum, we come back to the board to try to raise that up. So there's, as the year goes by, sometimes we use a vendor for something that we didn't expect to use them for, and so it might get closer to that maximum limit. And the ones that you see there, what was it, 13? All of those estimated spending amounts, we had originally approved them in last June for a lower amount, and as we got closer to that spending max, that's why they're back on here with a higher limit.
So these are for last year, not for this year?
Yeah,
Or is it
approved-
like a June-to-June thing,
yeah.
so it overlaps?
You approved the co-op, the agreement with the co-ops to use them
Okay.
every year, and then it's really an internal measure for us to spend the maximum spending amount. And we kind of look at it and say, how much do we think we're going to spend with that vendor this year? And then as things progress, if it changes and we come back to the board and look to increase the maximum spending amount.
I wanted to just piggyback on that because Mr. Baginski had given me an excellent explanation when we first started doing this, is that sometimes we end up not using vendors we thought we would use and use more of one other vendor, which is why we need to increase this for those specific vendors, because there's more than just these vendors, right? Right, so these are more of the ones that we ended up using more of and not using other ones.
Yeah, generally we get the best pricing from the state contracts or the co-ops. So it's actually a good thing that you see us using the co-op more, because in general, we're getting the best price, and that's what it's all about.
My next question was on 14. I see that there was a lot of playground maintenance, installs, inspections from different vendors. Was this prior contracts that we approved
Yeah,
for playground upgrades?
So we did a lot of playground work with the preschools, and the vendor for that would be Ben Schaefer and Corby Associates. And so because we got closer to that maximum this year, we raised these were approved last June, but we're just increasing the maximum based on our usage this year. We built the preschool annex playground and also did some other preschool related playground upgrades.
Does preschool funds pay for that, or it's out of the general
Yeah,
fund?
preschool funds did. Yep.
Okay.
There are
What about for these?
There are also a couple of new vendors on there under that particular one. Whirl Corporation is going to do some of our track repairs, and also a grant-funded a local recreation improvement grant project to refurbish the rebound wall over at the tennis courts here. And so they're going to be doing that. So
playground doesn't necessarily mean jungle gym.
right, it's the vendor. It's the totality of what of that vendor does. But that vendor for Corby and Ben Schaefer, primarily it was the playground construction.
And finance number 24, there was like options that had to be picked, 3 options. Who picks those?
24.
Mr. Baginski and I had a conversation about it. We did. This is the insurance, yeah.
Yeah, so for our liability insurance, we belong to a joint insurance fund. And so if you have a good year from a claims perspective, they basically will refund you X amount of dollars based on the claims and what we paid out and the claims that we had. So for this year, that turned out to be 90.
Is this year, or was
This is this year. Yep.
Oh, it's not 1920?
Nope, it's based on this year.
Okay.
Yep, so $94,697, and they give you a couple of options. They could say you could put it towards next year's, to lower next year's insurance premium. They'll give you a check for it. Last year, we had around the same number. We took it as a check. This year, we're going to apply it to reduce next year's premium.
I did have a question. What are we going to seed with Finance 19? Do you have it outlined? I skipped over it, but I had to post it.
Finance 19?
I'm so loud. Finance 19, the vendor, Site 1.
Yeah, so Site 1, that's where we do most of our purchasing of grass seed.
What are we seeding?
What are we seeding?
Anything in particular?
All of our athletic fields.
All of what?
Athletic fields? Yeah. Yep. Everywhere we have interscholastic sports. So this year it was the 2 high schools and the 2 middle schools. Next year it'll be Liberty High School and the Jackson Township Middle School.
Anybody else?
I have one question. Okay, with all these consortiums and everything we're in, we go out and buy our own food? We're not in a consortium for food? That's number 23.
Was my question as well. Are we getting like a different vendor or something, or is that a typical thing we see this time of year? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so primarily it's through national co-ops that we get our food service food from, but they're in a penny business. They're constantly looking for better deals on food prices, and whether that be dairy or for milk prices or purchasing produce, they're constantly in various co-ops, both nationally at the state level, looking for how they can do it the cheapest.
So you're not going shopping?
Yeah.
Fiscal year that was being refunded. They can't possibly give you a refund in the current year because these claims can come in years later. Some of the statutes of limitations for a joint insurance fund for liability type issues can take 2 or 3 years to be filed. So they're looking back to 1920 and saying, we're going to make $500,000 of our remaining surplus available as a refund. So it is a 1920 refund on the joint insurance fund, not the current year.
Twenty, yeah. Okay.
It was like,
Any other discussion?
but it was offered to us this year.
We good? Roll call.
Dr. Osmond?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion to move facilities.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Sorry, I have another question. On the document, the addendum, document 1A, the food pantry, it's great that we're going to have it here. I just had some questions. I'm just going to say them and then you can respond. Is there going to be food storage in these rooms? How will like pestilence be monitored? Are we in a contract? Did we give them expectations? Like how's that going to work?
Sure.
Yes to all of that. And we have, we'll have a set schedule that Mr. Bakinski has been working on with them as well. So it's not going to be a full-time thing. It will be after hours as well. And when we met with them, this is to be focused in on our students and families that we serve in our school district. Those are the people that will be tapping into that portion of the food pantry. The rest of the food pantry services are farmed out to a different area.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Osmond?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion to move programs.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Osmond?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Abstain 5B3 and 10G. Yes to everything else.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion to move students.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a question about number 10. It says that we would be sending people to Burlington County Special Service School District not to exceed $100,000. What kinds of things do they do there that we would be using for $100,000 or up to?
So when we use Burlington, or when we use any kind of service commission, a lot of times it's for services that the student needs in their IEP, and they may offer a specific service that is at a better price or meets the need of that student. In this case, this looks to me like this is a placement. For services, they probably have a placement that a student needs. And so in the case that we may need that service, it's being put on the agenda for that. I'm just going to turn to Ms. Carney and confirm that I am accurate. No? Okay, then please come to the mic and answer that question.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, okay. Who asked that question? Oh, yes. So if we're going to send them somewhere, that's going to be on our student list where we're sending to an out-of-district. This particular motion is for the vendor. Burlington County Special Services provides us service here in the district, and they're providing us a teacher of the deaf, some orientation and mobility, and possibly a teacher of the visually impaired as needed, but definitely the teacher of the deaf.
Okay, that's what I thought, because they're a little specific there.
Yes, and that person did replace an actual employee. We did once have a teacher of the deaf, but she did retire last school year, and we didn't replace her. We're using an agency. We actually couldn't get a replacement. There are not too many out there anymore.
Thank you, Ms. Carney.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion?
In general, are these contractual numbers or policy or state policy? Does the state set these rates or are they each individual contracted?
Yeah, it's the service provider that sets their rates, and then this is the time of the year where we just approve all of these in case we may need them. We don't often use all of them, but they are available, and that way we don't have to slow down a service that a student may need because it hasn't been board approved yet. So that's why we have all of them on the agenda tonight.
So
These aren't set rates that all the districts follow. These are contracted.
Sometimes, depending on, you'll see sometimes we set the rate for something, but in most of these cases, these are these organizations or commissions or service providers that set their rates.
Thank you.
So this is, looking at the agenda and reading this, it just seems like a lot of money going out, like a lot of money for these services, which are expensive. So you're saying that you're just budgeting for them. If you use them, then they're there where you could send them out. If you don't use them, do you roll that money, like does that get rolled over to the next year? Or, because I know sometimes there's a lot of rules with how we could spend money, but it just seems like a lot.
So the services providers here are not necessarily all used, and we don't roll anything over to the following year. That's why they're approved every year. So it's only based on student needs at the time. We budget what we feel is going to be necessary based on how we, and again, Ms. Carney, if you want to come to the mic to explain how you budget, but it's based on our current student population and what we anticipate them needing, and that's how we set our budget for that, for the service providers. So do you want to give a little bit more detail about that?
Sure. So if you were to add that up, you'd say, oh my God, we're spending well more than we maybe even have. So no, but we have to anticipate, and we never know, like there'll be nursing agencies on there, but then they don't have a nurse for us. So we then have to go to nursing agency B. Teacher, there are probably 3 or 4 people on there that are teacher of the deaf service, teacher of the visually impaired, psychiatrists, neurologists, and so no. But Mr. Baginski and his office monitor those numbers very carefully with my office, and we look to see where money will come out as like the year progresses. Like, oh, okay, we're well ahead here or not ahead there.
Just projections, yeah. 'Cause
Yes.
when I looked at it, I was like, it's a lot of money.
All projected, and based on the kids we have now, tomorrow a student that needs a nurse could move in and readjust all of that. And so that's why you'll see during the year that sometimes we have to add to somebody who was already previously approved, and we're updating that amount of money. Okay?
Anyone else? Roll call.
Dr. Osmond?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion to move personnel.
Tina. Okay.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Wait. So, before we move all personnel, I'd like to make a motion to postpone to a future meeting, number 20, A through N.
Could you say that one more time?
Did everybody hear that?
No.
Ms. Barocas made a motion to postpone to a future meeting the vote on item number 20, including all the subparts, correct?
A through N.
A through N as in Nancy. So we're going to vote on the motion to postpone first, assuming it gets a second, which it hasn't yet.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion.
Discussion.
This is just a vote on the motion to postpone.
All A through N.
Yep, A through N. Roll call.
Roll call.
Dr.
This is just to
this
be
is just
clear. This is
postpone
just a
item 20.
vote to postpone this item.
Item 20.
Not on.
Correct,
Not
just
on
20,
personnel.
just
So
20.
just if we're postponing this particular
I'm
number
sorry,
20.
it's hard to hear you. So this is just, I just want to make sure I have it right. This is just for number 20, A through N, postponing until the next meeting, A through N.
Well, she didn't say until the next meeting.
Just till a future meeting.
I think she said until a future meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
correct.
That's correct, to a future meeting. We didn't put an end date on it. At least the motion didn't. So that's been
Do I have to?
seconded.
Do I have to put a second?
You don't have to put an end date on it. Okay.
Okay, so the vote.
Roll call.
Dr. Osmond,
Just voting on 20.
voting to postpone the vote for number 20, items A through N, to a future meeting.
A through N, I
A
believe.
through N, yes.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
It's spring season, the whole thing.
I am going to abstain on 20.
She abstained.
Abstain. Okay. Mr. Walsh?
No.
Mr. McCarron?
No.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
That was a yes.
It was a yes.
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
No.
Mrs. Cass?
No.
Motion did not carry. Now we go back to the main motion, including number 20, which has already been seconded. I think we're in discussion, I guess, Ms. Cass. Ask, I guess, if there's any further discussion. And then we
Any
can go to
further discussion on personnel? Roll call.
Dr. Osmond? Yes.
So I am voting yes for everything, except, as I said, 20 abstaining and 19 abstaining. And I'm abstaining from voting on any items, 19 all and 20 all. The reason I'm going to abstain is because we have all received a communication that, if true, is concerning to me and should sway our decision on who we are appointing to these positions. When our administration becomes aware of information that should be considered pertinent to the recommendations of specific staff members, that I believe that we have an ethical obligation to make sure that we investigate those reports before we make any votes. So I now am questioning the overall procedure of how we go about things, and so for this reason I am abstaining from all of 19 and all of 20. Everything else is a yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
I have to abstain from 19 and 20, yes to everything else.
Mrs. Barocas?
Number 1, document J, number 285, I abstain. Yes to everything, and I'm abstaining from 20.
Abstaining from what? I said?
20.
20. Mrs. Gardella?
Abstain from 30H, yes to everything else.
Abstaining from which number again? Sorry, 38. Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion to open public forum on any topic pertaining to the Board of Education.
Motion.
Second.
Please sign in and state your name and whether or not you are a Jackson resident. Each person is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. No person may speak more than once on the topic until all others have been heard.
Hi, my name's Michelle, and I'm a Jackson resident. My children have been part of the Jackson district since kindergarten and will be attending 5th and 6th grade next year. I'm here today with a somewhat unique issue regarding high-performing students in the district. My son, John, is a high-performing, highly capable student, and I have concerns about the lack of offerings for advanced students in Jackson. After years of expressing frustration with the stagnation at school, we decided to homeschool John for the second half of his 4th grade year. He continued to learn and returned to Elms for 5th grade, hoping things would be better. 5th grade offered advanced math, which condensed the 5th and 6th grade coursework into 1 year. John breezed through the math curriculum with a near-perfect score. Although math class only lasted 1 hour of the day, John expressed great relief in being surrounded by eager, talented students who did not cause the behavioral distractions he endured in his homeroom. In attending the JT 5-6 open house, I learned that the district is eliminating 5th grade advanced math. Further, any student who is formally in advanced math will be repeating the 6th grade coursework that they have already learned. It is beyond frustrating that John will spend his entire 6th grade year reviewing what he successfully completed in the second half of 5th grade. Additionally, my daughter Emily scored a perfect 850 of 850 on her most recent NJSLA math assessment. And due to the elimination of 5th grade math, she will have reduced opportunities available to her. Overall, I have found the curriculum lacking flexibility for highly capable students. I'm told differentiation within the classroom and WIN are meant to address this matter. However, I'm not seeing these programs working for my children. While it sounds nice in theory, teachers candidly express that high-achieving students do not get the attention they deserve, as so much time is devoted to students struggling with the coursework, disruptions, language barriers, and so on. Due to this, we continue to heavily supplement our children's learning at home. We have friends and family that live throughout New Jersey and in other states, towns, large and small, and all of them have gifted and talented programs by this age. Please help me understand Jackson's reluctance to allow higher performing students to share classes with their intellectual peers and encouraging them to realize their full potential. These students have already been identified. With approximately 500 students per grade, advanced class, math, and beyond could easily be formed with minimal effort or budgetary impact. I kindly ask for you to reconsider the decisions related to 5th and 6th grade advanced math programs and provide a curriculum that does not repeat for the top students who have already learned the material and have capabilities to move at a faster pace. Please also consider additional advanced classes for high-performing students so that frustration and boredom does not erode their love of learning. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, good evening. I'm Stephanie Rucci. I belong in Jackson. My children attend school here. I'm just asking about the sports boards in the gym. We have amazing athletes. We've made major accolades for Jackson Memorial, and we are hoping that the consideration has been made to move all of the boards that recognize all of their accolades over to Liberty so that we can continue to, one, update them because some of them are behind, and two, just to make sure that our students feel welcomed while they're over there, that they're being recognized for all their accomplishments. And also on behalf of the Jackson wrestling boys and girls team, if you need volunteers to help you do that, we'll offer our assistance. Families will come in and help you do that this summer. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no one come forward, I need a motion to close public forum.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Board comments? Oh, sure, oh, yes.
So I don't like to talk about individual students, so I don't want to have that conversation, but I do want you to know that it is something that we are looking at, and we'll reach out to you to talk a little bit more. So before you leave, I do believe I have your phone number, but I just want to confirm, and I'll follow up with you tomorrow on your concerns, and we'll talk together with the assistant superintendents about what the plan is moving forward, okay? Thank you for sharing your concerns. In regards to the sports awards, yep, absolutely. We're looking to do some planning. We want to make sure everything is acknowledged, continues to be acknowledged, and our kids see it. So, and thank you for offering to volunteer. So more to come on that soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Board comments, we'll start down Mr. Walsh.
I was happy to see esports coming around. A lot of schools have it. I got one thing that I have going around Ocean County and in Monmouth County. There is a lot of schools, Manchester, the Toms River schools, the vocational school on 571 out there. They have caution lights on the main roads in front of their buildings that flash when students are coming into school and when they're leaving school. Okay, I think we need to broach either the township or the county, depending upon who can construct those, to put them up, okay, so that on Hope Road and in front of some of the other schools that we have, okay, there's a little bit more warning for the people driving on those roads to slow down. Will they? I don't know, but a little caution doesn't hurt. Thank you. Have a good summer.
Just want to wish everybody a safe summer and congratulations to our 2025 graduates. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. We're all very proud of you. Remember where you come from, and hopefully in years to come, we'll see you doing great things, and hopefully you'll be back in town to give back to the town that gave you so much. Congratulations.
I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening and view us live stream. Congratulations to all the graduates and much success on your next endeavors. Everyone have a wonderful summer.
Congratulations to all the graduates. It was really nice to get to so many ceremonies. Thank you to Colin for doing an end of the year speech. It's always nice to hear the end of the year updates, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in September, and I hope everyone has a nice summer.
I want to concur with everyone. Congratulations to the graduates. Mr. Walsh, I think that's a fabulous idea. Maybe traffic safety's heard you. I think they've heard that a couple times, and maybe publicly it's a great way. So it was a nice idea. I hope everybody has a great summer, and hopefully you'll tune in with us for the next 2 months.
Same thing. I want to wish congratulations to all of our graduates. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. I attended the 2 high school graduations, so it was wonderful. And in addition, I want to congratulate our superintendent. She was named Superintendent of the Year.
Oh, wow.
We don't get to vote on that. However, I think that if we did, I think that we would all concur that it is well-deserved, and it has been, it's been your most challenging year, I think. You've had quite a few. But this one, I think, tops the cake, and so congratulations. With that, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
By acclamation.
Aye.